Hey everyone, apologies on my end for those technical difficulties. I talked bad about Monday, and that's what happened to me. We've had a lot of different faces on this show recently, and we're bringing Jordan back. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Not bad, dude. Just ready to crush this boom slate. We had a nice start to playoffs. Had Nick on here discussing the model we have at DFI, and ready to dive into it. But we will start with MLB today. We'll just be covering the $1 jackpot for MLB. And we got an interesting slate as it looks like that the St. Louis and Chicago game has been canceled. And KC and Toronto is in kind of an ice storm right now, so they might not play. So that's something we really got to monitor. But it also gives us kind of an edge and maybe win some free money on here. So for most hits, we're pretty much between Abdul Herrera and Freddie Freeman. Do you have a favorite here?
I really like Odubel Herrera. He's facing Tehran tonight. He's terrible at home to lefties, like just atrocious, just bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think he said it. Hopefully Abdul finds his way into the lineup. I'm not sure if that lineup's come out yet, but I wouldn't surprise me if Philly went with those lefties just because of how bad Jordan said Tehran is to lefties. He had the Nationals at home like 2 weeks ago and just got obliterated by lefties. Freddie Freeman, he's Freddie Freeman, but he has a really tough matchup against Aaron Nola. So if Abdul Herrera climbs his way in that lineup, especially if he's batting anywhere 1 through 5, I think I really like him. Even if Moustakas does play, he's facing a lefty in Jaime Garcia, so I don't see the upside there. I think Herrera is going to be a top play here.
Yeah.
For most RBIs, we have Smoke, Ozuna, Shaw, and Votto. Like we said, Ozuna's game has been canceled. Smoke's game is risky, and that leaves us with Travis Shaw and Joey Votto. What do you think here?
I like Votto. I think he's gonna pop out of his relative slump. It's a slump for him, not really a slump too bad, but I think he pops out of it and does some damage tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Shaw's got an interesting matchup against Castillo. He's a promising pitcher who's had some trouble this year so far. But Joey Votto, he's probably, I mean, he's got to fix what's going on. He's an elite hitter. He knows he's an elite hitter. Um, if Smoke was playing, I love him against Skoglund. He's had a
Oh
tough
yeah,
go round. What did you say?
of course. Yeah, I just didn't. I probably wouldn't pick him just safety because of the weather.
Yeah. If he does play, I think he's your best play there. But then I'd go Votto and then probably Travis Shaw right after. For most total bases, we got Chris Bryant again in a postponed game, Reese Hoskins, Adrian Beltre, and Adam Duvall. I think this one's kind of easy, but I want to see if you're thinking the same thing.
I was gonna go Reese Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still
uh,
gets pick on Tehran.
yeah, Tehran's just not good. He's not good against lefties. He's just not good in general. Reese Hoskins, elite matchup tonight. Just great play overall. And we have Aaron Nola for strikeouts. What we like to do is I'll ask you what range the exact number you think Aaron Nola will get, and we'll compare it to our projection here. So what are you thinking tonight? He gets the Braves.
I'd probably give. I don't know. I think it's kind of risky. I know they let him go 8 last time, but he's kind of been on a short leash at the first 2 games, so hopefully he doesn't get that again. Maybe 5, probably 6 actually, not 7.
You're gonna shoot him that
But
low. He's on our fantasy team, man.
I love him, but I don't know.
I'm actually looking to pull up his projection right now, but I'm hoping he gets more than that just for those fantasy points.
Yeah, I hope so.
For sure. Let's see what we got for his K projection here. Oh wow, okay. I'll give you that was a pretty good call there. He's projected for 6, which I don't like to see, but pretty good call on your part. I think I like 7. He's averaging 6.8 a game. Capos let him go pretty deep the past 2 games. Um, I think I like 7, but I definitely see the merit in 6. I probably wouldn't put him higher than 7. No reason to tonight. But with that, we'll jump into a little more exciting thing going on, and that is the NBA playoffs, where we have the Sixers and Heat game first. We have Goran Dragic, Marco Bellinelli, Dario Saric, and Kelly Olynyk. I know Jordan is working with their NBA team today, so I'm interested to hear your take on who will score the most points between these guys.
I think a lot of people are going to be focused on Bellinelli because I just think they're gonna take recency bias and just go with him. But I think it's split between Dragic and Olynyk. I think they got blown out in the first game, and I think they're gonna be focal points of this offense today, just because that was all they had last game, and they're gonna kind of try to work them in more.
It's interesting. I kind of see merit to all of these guys. Maybe not as much Bellinelli with JJ Redick being on fire recently.
Yeah.
It seems like the Sixers went small last game, and it really worked, which kind of makes me like Sarge here. I know Ilyasova played a lot of the 5. They had those two running together at the same time. But, I mean, Kelly Olynyk was that spark plug for the Heat. I think they're going to try to give him as many minutes as possible. And, I see him the least favorite when I could easily see him winning this. Like Jordan said, I think Dragic is going to be your safest play. If you're doing a single entry, I think you want him. But I think you're multi-entering. You probably want at least, Dragic, Sarge, and Kelly Olynyk. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For most rebounds, we have Hassan Whiteside, Ben Simmons, Justice Winslow, and Ersan Ilyasova. What do you like here?
I definitely would. I think Whiteside's a trap at that number 1 spot. I think you just avoid him altogether. He got 12 minutes last game. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Ilyasova, just hoping. I think he'll get the minutes. Just that's a little riskier. If you want to be safer, probably go Simmons. But Ilyasova is definitely could. I'd probably go half and half if you're multi-entering.
I like the call there a lot. Jordan was dead on with Hassan Whiteside's minutes. He only got 12 last game. Like I said, they went to Ilyasova playing the 5. They found that small ball absolutely crushed the Heat. And Ilyasova grabbed 14 rebounds last game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take away the game, his little mini revenge game against the Atlanta Hawks earlier this year, that's the most he's gotten all season. I don't know if we can expect him to grab 14 each game, but I think he's – you see him in last place, and a lot of people might ignore him, but I think he's a terrific pick. You can ignore Winslow. Whiteside, we got to see him play more minutes before we take him. And then, obviously, you got the triple-double machine in Ben Simmons. I would say, Ilyasova might be your optimal play. You got 30 minutes. That's a lot of time to get rebounds. But Ben Simmons, very close second. You can't go wrong there. Most assists, we have Dragic, Fultz, James Johnson, and TJ McConnell. I don't think McConnell's going to get more than 5 minutes, do you?
No, not at all. And I think Fultz is too much of a bench player to rely on him to get the most assists out of these guys. I think you probably go Dragic or Johnson, but that's kind of just at this point it's a toss up for me until I see something otherwise.
Yeah, Fultz got some minutes last game, but they blew him out. Let's be real there. That game was 27-point blowout. Looks like Dragic got 4 assists, same as Fultz, and James Johnson. Let's see what we got here.
I think it's somewhere around that same number.
Yeah, they all got 4.
Okay.
But I don't think this game's gonna be a 27-point blowout like the last one was.
Exactly.
Yeah, Heat were up 4 at halftime. Just something fell apart there. It's a 31-point swing. I think Dragic's gonna be your optimal play. Don't mind Johnson either, but I think you're picking one of the 2 Heat players, right?
Yeah, for sure, guaranteed for me.
And we have a familiar face on here, just like when Nick and I did this last time. JJ Redick is here for points. So what kind of range are you thinking for Redick? He's been absolutely crushing without Embiid.
I was thinking probably going he's projected for 20, but I think he goes about 25, 27, around that range.
Yeah, let's just look at his last 5 games. 25, 28, 18, 28, 28. His field goal attempts, he's been incredibly efficient. This is pretty crazy. 10 of 13, 8 of 13, 9 of 17, but they're way up in the past games without Embiid. He's been taking 17, 26. That's 8 3-pointers a game out of the past 4 games. So a lot of upside there. I think you can't put him under – maybe probably can't put him under 22, right? I kind of like your range 24 to 28 probably. Does that make sense to you?
That works for me, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a good call.
I think people are going to look at that season average and underproject him, but he's been on fire since Embiid went out, and that's really what's been leading to their success. We'll jump into the next game. We only have 2 games today with the Warriors and Spurs, and we have Rudy Gay, Draymond Green, Patty Mills, and Quinn Cook for points. Does anything really jump out to you here in this category?
Nothing jumps out to me. They're all projected for 11 points tonight, like just
Really?
around there. Yeah, I mean, I think Draymond was like the lowest at 10.7. So I mean, they're all really projected about 11 points. Um, I really like Draymond's position tonight just in general. So I would probably stick with Draymond because I think we're gonna must have him over at DFI tonight, maybe potentially.
Okay.
I'd probably stick with Draymond.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I see Rudy Gay on here. It looked like the Spurs really went to the older generation guys when they went down against the Warriors. Um, which kind of, I mean, eliminates Patty Mills for me. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But Quinn Cook, he only took 7 shots last game. Not something I want to see when I'm picking a guy for points. I'm looking at Rudy Gay. He took 12, pretty massive number. Only got 22 minutes. So it kind of makes you. I mean, you look at Draymond Green. He's the only one here guaranteed to play over 30. I think it's a safe option. I think he triple double candidate tonight. I really like the Draymond Green pick. If you're taking another one, probably Rudy Gay close second.
Yeah, I'd go Rudy Gay. I just don't think he takes 12 shots tonight again, but I do think he'd be the safest second pick.
Yeah. And then we got Draymond Green again in the rebounds category with LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant, and Paul Gasol. Is there a clear-cut guy in this category?
I mean, I definitely stick to the Warriors guys. I think it was Aldridge got 2 boards last game,
Wow.
the entire game. So they're obviously just eliminating him as a factor. Powell just doesn't get enough minutes to if he's still going up against a stingy rebound defense. I think you go Draymond or KD, but I'd probably lean Draymond, just triple double candidate, like we said.
It's yeah. Well, I'm looking at it, and Gasol and Aldridge both got 2 rebounds. Not pretty. So actually watching First Take this morning, and Stephen A was going on a little bit of a rant. How every time LaMarcus Aldridge gets in the playoffs, well, he always goes on a rant. But,
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to
say. Every time Aldridge gets in the playoffs, he doesn't show up. And I mean, I'm not saying it happens every game, but that definitely happened the first game. Neither Aldridge or Gasol had a good game. You're looking at Durant and Draymond, who both had 8 rebounds. So there's obviously you can't go wrong with either. But I really like Draymond. I mean, we're expecting a triple double over at DFI. He came really close last game to that same thing, and I think you got to go Draymond if you're going one line, and if you're multi-entering, you need some of Durant as well.
Yeah, I agree.
For most assists, we have Durant again, DeJounte Murray, Patty Mills, and Andre Iguodala. Iguodala started at the point last game, interestingly enough. Did he get many assists?
I think he had like 4. I don't think it was very. He didn't do too much at the point. He went 3, 7, and 4.
Yeah.
23 minutes. So kind of weird for starting point guard. Quinn Cook still got more minutes than him, but still Quinn Cook only had 2 assists too. So, I mean, I think you stick with KD here, in my opinion.
It's yeah. The more I look at this, I mean, KD almost had triple double himself last game. Interestingly enough, the more you look at this, the uglier it is. I mean, Murray had 3. I didn't pull up Patty Mills, but I can't imagine he had many, right?
Let me see. I think Patty Mills had 3.
Okay, so Mills, Murray, and Iguodala all had 3 or less. And then you got Kevin Durant, who had 7, and I think Durant had 4 at the end of the first quarter. Just screams safety to me. I mean, he beat them all in the first quarter. Let's be real there. I think, pick Durant and move on probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
Yeah. And then our last thing we'll cover is Kevin Durant points. Did he get 24 last game?
I think 24 last game. He's projected for 30 tonight.
Wow.
Which I think it's always a possibility with him, especially with Steph out. So, I mean, my range for him is probably about 28 to 32 range, about there. Pretty high, but
yeah, definitely can't fault you for that projection at all. I mean, he took 17 shots. That's pretty healthy. He only had 5 free throws, which is not KD-like. I mean, I'm looking at games right now where I'm seeing 7, 9, 14, 11. I mean, 5 is pretty low for him. Might have been because that game got a little out of hand. Maybe got a little less aggressive. So I think, 27 to 31, 28 to 32, you can't really go wrong there. Yeah, I mean, the more we look at the slate, the more I think we can probably crush this one.
Yeah.
With Boom. Did you want to say anything for what you might have going on in the NBA War Room later?
No, I think we're gonna have probably potentially two must-haves, one for each game tonight, or either one site-specific per FanDuel and DraftKings Fan Draft. I'm really excited for this slate. I think we can potentially take down some GPPs tonight with that model that we got going.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about yesterday for a second. I mean, we had Al Horford, who was by far and away the high-scoring center, points per dollar wise, actual points wise. Rubio, who crushed value. Victor Oladipo, who had a massive game.
Yeah.
Even for DFIU bets, I mean, he just put on a show. And I'd love to continue this success today. We want to crush these playoffs and have everyone have pretty good nights. So we will be back tomorrow. We'll be discussing both MLB and NBA again tomorrow. So tune in for that. And other than that, have a great night and enjoy the games.